Well, let's return now to another one of our main stories, the string of assaults that took place in the German city of Cologne on New Year's Eve. One of the more controversial aspects of this story is the possible involvement of refugees from Syria. Valerie Hudson from Texas A&M University joins us now to discuss this. Professor Hudson, thank you so much for your time. You've conducted a fascinating study which suggests certain demographic circumstances may lead to an increase in crimes such as rape and sexual harassment. Why do you believe that that may apply to what we have seen in Cologne?
Well, I think one of the underreported stories of the massive migration into Europe is that this is primarily a male migration, a young adult male migration. I, in particular, studied the case of Sweden, for which country the statistics are very open and transparent. And what we found was about 71% of refugees going into Sweden in 2015 were male, and the vast majority of them were young adult males. And so what's happening that I documented in my research was that the sex ratios of these countries are being turned abnormal. So for example, in the 16 and 17-year-old age group for Sweden, there are now 123 boys for every 100 girls in Sweden. Now for the past 20 years, I've studied the security implications of abnormal sex ratio societies and in China and in India. And I can tell you that there's a pattern. Violent crime increases, property crime increases, crimes against women increase. Women's mobility is seriously curtailed. There's increasing demand for trafficked women and so forth. So I'm very surprised that the European governments that are noted for their feminism and their commitment to gender equality have allowed their immigration policy to permit such a profound alteration to sex ratios. The sex ratio in Sweden of 16 and 17-year-olds is now far worse than that of China, which is 117 16 and 17-year-old boys for every 100 16 and 17-year-old girls. That's really stunning, that Sweden is now worse than China.
So in a nutshell, you're saying the higher the male population, the more likely there is to be crime or sexual crime. Does that mean that a normal law-abiding male who is likely to become violent if he's put into this kind of environment?
No, what it means is that when you have, in this case, maybe 10% more men than there are females in society in a particular age group, especially this young adult age group, you've just deepened the marginalization. So not only may they have, marginalization due to class differences or religious differences or ethnic differences, but now they have no hope of a normal life trajectory in terms of marrying, becoming a head of household, becoming a father, and so forth. You make male collective violence so much more probable in those circumstances because those with the same grievance will feel the same way.
Valerie Hudson, thank you so much for joining us.